Good morning, students. Today I am going to explain you a new lesson. The name of a lesson is Harry Learns to Read. It is written by Johanna Spyri. So let us start with the lesson. Harry is a story of an 8-year-old Swiss orphan who goes to live with her grandfather in the Alps in Switzerland. She grew to love the mountain, the flower, and the animals. She makes friends with Peter, who grazes her grandfather's goat. When she is sent to Frankfurt to be companion to a rich girl, Clara, she is very unhappy and misses the mountain and the pine tree. She also meets Clara's grandmother for the first time. In this extract, Clara's grandmother began to understand how much Harry longed to go back to the mountain and the bright sunshine. So, here we start with the story. The following day after dinner, Clara's grandmother, Frau Sisman, that is a German word we can say Farewell, that is used for Mrs. Said to a friend, that means Mr. Rottenmeier, the housekeeper, go and bring Hetty to my room. I have some nice books with me that I would like to give her. But that's just it, replied Fräulein Rottenmeier, throwing up her hand in despair. Of what use are books to her? She doesn't even know the alphabet yet. It is quite impossible to teach her anything. The tutor will tell you himself. If he didn't have the patience of a saint, he would have given up trying to teach her long ago. Now, so after the following day after a dinner, what the Clara grandmother told to Mr. Rottenmeier, who was the housekeeper, to go and bring Hattie to her room. Why? Because she want to give her some nice book. But just it, the Rottenmeier throwing her hand in despair. What he said? What is the use of a book to her? Even she is not able to read an alphabet, and it is quite impossible to teach her anything. So, the tutor will tell you himself. Okay, the tutor must have a patient like a saint, otherwise, he would give up trying to teach her long ago. Well, that is strange. The child does not strike me as being stupid, said Flora Sisman shortly. Now go and fetch her. She can look at the picture for the time being. Fräulein Rottenmeier was about to say more, but Flora Sisman had turned away and gone quickly toward her own room. So, what the grandmother replied, it is a quite strange thing. Why? Because she does not find the girl is a stupid. Okay? And what does she say? That now go and fetch her. That means to bring her. So that even if she is unable to read, she can go through the picture. Before the Mr. Rotman could say anything, what does this man do? She just turned away and went quickly to her room. She was very surprised at Florine Rottimer's remarks and was determined to find out more about the whole matter. Perhaps the tutor would help, although his conversation was so roundabout and lengthy that she felt that it might be difficult to get to the root of the problem. Now, grandmother was quite surprised from the word that is been told by Fräulein Rottermeier, the remarks. Okay. So what she thought, that she might be not able to understand the tutor, because tutor may take the matter too lengthy and she might feel it difficult to understand it. Harry was greatly delighted with a beautiful colored picture in the book, which grandmother had bought. Suddenly she cried aloud as she turned a page. When the old lady looked at the child, she saw that tears were streaming down her cheeks. She looked at once at the picture. It depicted means showed, a beautiful green pasture with all sorts of the animal grazing. So, the book that was given by a grandmother to the Hedda. Now, while she was going through the book, she was very happy because she liked all the beautiful colors that was in the picture, beautiful pictures we can say, colored pictures that was in the book. But suddenly she started crying. The tears came out from his eyes and it started rolling throughout the cheek. Now, grandmother was quite surprised. What happened suddenly? So, she looked at once at the picture. And what does it depict? What it show? It show the green pasture. The pasture means the area where the animals are grazing. Okay. In the midst, a shepherd leaned upon his stick and looked happily at his foe, a group of sheep, you can say. Everything was bathed in a golden light, for the sun was just setting to the horizon. Grandmother took Hetty's hand gently. Don't cry, dear child, don't cry. The picture has reminded you something, perhaps. So, what the grandmother did, she holded her hand tightly and what she told, don't cry. The picture might have reminded you about something. But look, there is a beautiful story about it, and I am going to tell you about it tonight. There are many beautiful stories in this book which can be read over and over again. Come now, we must have a chat. So dry your tears and stand in front of me so that I can look at you. That's right. Now we are happy again. Heather tried very hard to stop sobbing. Sobbing means crying noisily. Okay? And when at last he succeeded, grandmother said, now I want you to tell me something, child. How are you getting on with your lesson? Do you like them? Are you doing well? So what the grandmother asked, okay, now tell me, child. Now how are you getting your lesson? How are you studying? How the teacher is helping you? Are you able to understand them? Do you like this lesson? Oh no, replied Hadid. Sings, but I knew it would be impossible. That means breathing slowly and noisily. What is impossible, Hadid? What do you mean? To learn to read. It is so difficult. You don't say so. And who told you this? Peter did, and he knows, for he has tried but can't learn. It is too difficult. So, what the grandmother say? So, what is impossible? What do you think? To learn to read is impossible? Who told you this? So, what the Harry replied, who has told it? Peter, because he was also trying for the long time, but he was unable to read. What a boy Peter must be then. But listen to me, Hetty. We must never believe what the Peters say, but try for ourselves. So what the grandmother say? What type of a boy he might be? I don't understand. But you listen to me that you should never believe what the Peters say, but in spite of that, you should try by yourself. I am sure you had never paid enough attention to your lesson or looked properly at the letters. Is of no use, said Hetty with a great sense of resignation. Resignation means sad feeling or accepting something that you do not like. Okay? Now, Hetty, listen to what I have to say. You have not been able to read because you believe what Peter said. Now, you must believe what I say when I tell you that you can learn to read. Now, what the grandmother said, that up till now, why it is not possible for you to read? Because you have believed. Who has believed? Hetty has believed what Peter had said. Now the grandmother requests Hetty to believe on her that she will be able to learn to read. Like many other children who are like you and not like Peter. First, you must know what happened when you are able to read. Do you see the shepherd on the beautiful green pasture? Well, as soon as you can read, you shall have the book for your very own, and then you will be know the whole story, just as if someone were to tell it to you. So, what the grandmother explained, what will happen, when you will be able to read the story? Now, you can see only the picture. Okay, the shepherd is standing with his fork of shape. But when you will start reading it, you will come to know about the story. As if someone is telling to you what the shepherd did with his sheep and goat and the wonderful thing that happened to him. Wouldn't you like to know all that, Hetty? Hetty had been listening with keen attention. Keen attention means very interesting. And now exclaimed with sparkling eyes, "Oh, if only I could read already." "You will learn it no time. I can see that, Hetty. But now we must go to Clara. Come, we will take the book with us." Grandmother took Hetty's hands and they went together into the study. From the day Hetty had tried to go home and Fräulein Rottenmeier had scolded her for being so wicked and ungrateful, a change had come over the child. So, from that day onwards, what the Hetty was doing? She was trying very hard to read. Okay? She now knew that she could not go home whenever she liked, but that she has to stay in Frankfurt for a long time, maybe for ever. Now, whenever she asks Fräulein Rottimer to that when she can return back to his homeland. So every time she used to get a scold from Mr. Rottenmeier. Now she comes to know that now she could not go home as she likes. She has to stay there in a Frankfurt for a long period of time. There was nobody to whom she could say how homesick she was, for she could not face giving the grandmother, who was so kind to her, cause to be angry, as foreign Dottimer had been. She could no longer eat and grew thin. She could no longer eat and grew thin. She lay awake for long hours thinking of her life in the mountain. So slowly, what was happening? She could not eat and she was growing thinner and thinner. What? Because she was always thinking about the life. She was always thinking about the mountain where she used to live. When at last she fell asleep, she dreamed of the red summits. Summits means what? A topmost part of the mountain, the sunshine and the flower. When she woke in the morning, she wanted to run happily in the sun. But she soon realized that she was in the big bed in Frankfurt. Then Hetty would weep long and quietly, her head pressed into the pillow so that no one could hear. Hetty's unhappiness did not escape grandmother notice. One day she asked her what the matter was. Harriet was afraid to tell her the truth. She did not want the kind grandmother to think she was an ungrateful child. So she said, "Please, I cannot tell you." "Could you tell Clara then?" "Oh no, I cannot tell anyone," said Harriet pitiful. "Then, little one, let me tell you what to do. When we are in difficulty and cannot speak about it to anybody, we must pray to God for help." So, what the grandmother said, when we are in trouble, when we cannot say our problem to anybody, what we should do? We should tell our problem to a God. That will listen our plain. A sudden look of joy came into Harry's eye. "May I tell him everything?" "Yes, Harry, everything." It was about a week after this that the tutor met the grandmother and gave the glad that Harry had at last learned to read. He said it looked as though Harry had learned to read overnight, unlike most beginners. Life is a full of miracles. So, about a week, after a week, what the tutor had given a good news to the grandmother that Harry had almost started to read like a beginner. So life is a full of a miracle. Flora Sisman smiled. Now we just be glad the child has made a good beginning and hope for her future progress. The grandmother went down to the study to make sure of the good news. There, sure enough, was Harry sitting behind Clara and reading aloud to her, evidently very much surprised herself and growing more and more delighted with the new world that was now open to her as the black letter grew alive and turned into a man and things and exciting stories. So, what a grandmother did, she went down to the study to clarify what the tutor has told her about the good news. What she has found that she was sitting beside the Clara and she was reading the book. And day by and she was quite surprised. The grandmother was quite surprised by saying that she has delightedly entered into the new world, a new world that has now opened for her. That was a black letter. Black letter means what? Student, now you can see in your book, all the letters are been typed with the black colors. It means when we are reading it, we are getting a knowledge. The same evening at the dinner table, Harriet found the large book with the beautiful pictures by her plate. When she looked questioningly at grandmother, the old lady nodded kindly to her and said, "Yes, it is yours now." "Mine? To keep always? Even when I go home?" asked Harry, flushed with happiness. Flushed means red in the face. "Yes, of course, forever," grandmother assured her. "Tomorrow we will start to read it." When she went to bed, Harry looked at her book, and from that day on, her greatest pleasure was to read over and over again the story which belongs to the beautiful pictures. So, student, you might have understood the lesson clearly. Now, we are moving toward the grammar. Today we are going to see the simple present tense. Read the sentence. They tell you about an action that is repeated or an event that takes place regularly. Okay, for example, Clara's grandmother teaches her every morning. Then, little one, let me tell you what to do. We use the simple present tense to speak about repeat action or event. Okay. Harry arrives in Frankfurt tomorrow. Their holidays start from the 26th of March. We also use the simple present tense to talk about. Pick the sentence, they are written in a simple present tense. So here you can see the children. The first one, grandmother likes to read. Second one, Harry walks to the field every day. Third one, the train reached this station at 1 p.m. Sixth one, the housekeeper gave us our lunch at 12 o'clock. Ninth one, Heidi misses her parents. 10th one, the goat follow Heidi wherever she goes. Now students, we will see the simple past tense. When we speak about the thing that had already taken place, we use the simple past tense. Now for example, Heidi gave her grandmother a book. Heidi tutor taught her how to read. Now this is a simple past tense. The sheep grazed on the meadow. Heidi lived in the mountain of Switzerland. Heidi did not know how to read. The housekeeper said that Heidi could not read. The shepherd slept. The shepherd slept next to his sheep. Now, simple future tense. When we speak about the thing that will take place in future, we use the simple future tense. Heidi will read her book tomorrow. Peter will take his mother to the fair next week. Now complete this sentence with the simple future. My sheep will come home in the evening. Beautiful flowers will grow in the field during springtime. The bees will make sweet honey in spring. The children will eat bread with honey. Grandmother will read Heidi a story tonight. Now we will see the main verb and the auxiliary verb. The verb, see the example, Heidi reads. The verb is read. A verb tells you about an action. The word read can stand on its own. It doesn't need any other word to help. You understand what it means. So it is an main verb. Now look at the main verb in this sentence. They are highlighted. We saw an elephant. We watched the rainfall. He speaks English. Now read this sentence. The children were playing in the garden. Where? He did not understand my question. Did. The train has arrived. Has. The word where, did and has are the auxiliary or the helping verb. A verb is called an auxiliary verb when it is used with another verb carrying the main meaning. Okay. Now here you can see the children were playing. So playing is an verb but it required a help. So it got a where. So where became a helping verb. It is also known as a helping verb. Underline the auxiliary verb and circle the main verb. They have been working all the day. Have been is an auxiliary verb. Working is the main verb. She doesn't like to play badminton. Does not is a auxiliary verb. Like is a main verb. I am having tea with biscuit. Am is an auxiliary verb. Having is an main verb. She is preparing dinner for us. Is an auxiliary verb. Preparing is a main verb. They did not meet the minister. Did not. Did is an auxiliary verb. Meet is a main verb. Do you want to have another slice of cake? Do is an auxiliary verb. Want is an main verb. Did he finish his dinner? Did is an auxiliary verb. Finish is an main verb. I have been listening. Have been is an auxiliary verb. Listening is a main verb. I do not know who broke the vase. Do is an auxiliary verb. Know or broke is the main verb. We have done a lot so far. Have is an auxiliary verb. Done is a main verb. Now homophones. What is the homophones? A homophone is a word which pronounces the same as other word but has a different meaning or spelling. Now we will see here. The two words are given, sweet and sweet. The hotel has a suite of room for every important guest. She has a sweet voice. Okay. The pronouns is the same but the meanings are different. They live on a remote isle in the West Indies. You would like else sit, or would you prefer to be by the window? Course. The coarse sand hurt his bare foot. His sister is taking a course in computer programming. Ideal. Half of this factory now stand idle. The new singing star is the latest teen idol. Compliments. Strawberry and ice cream complement each other. Okay, they make a perfect pair. I take it as a compliment when people say I look like my mother. So, spelling. So, story, story, category, category, factory, factory, nursery, nursery, boundary, boundary, battery, battery. So, student, that's all. So, you might have understood the lesson and the grammar very well. So, we will meet on a next session. Have a good day.